Passion public service announcement. Passionate. Let me tell you something. So what is this Passion PSA podcast? Who am I? Well, they call me Passion, short for passion, no last necessary. Why is there no last name necessary? Because the first name says it all. I am Passion and all that embodies. What do I do here? I give you the life coaching that you know you need, but don't enroll yourself in. When did I start? Actually, 2017. I'd leave a PSA on my Instagram regarding something I'd observed, and now we've evolved to this. Why do I do it? Why not? If even one person is able to take away one thing that changes their life, someone else's life, or changes the world for the better, then I've done what I was charged to do. So come on in, sit and listen for a while. There's something here for everyone at the Passion PSA podcast. Y'all bear with me. I'm still working on lighting, so I'm playing with it a little bit different. Not like how I was looking all crazy in, what was that, episode 9 of season 7. It's the same lights, but I'm trying to do something different. In any event, eventually I'm going to get it together and y'all going to get the sexy lighting that you see in other people's podcasts. But we ain't there yet, so bear with me. I got a new chair, y'all, right? So I'm enjoying this chair, but on the other side of it, it might be a little creaky. So if you hear little creaks when I'm moving around, it's the chair. Also, a screw fell out while I was moving it. So, like, pray me through, because I'm praying that I can at least stay upright to shoot this episode. Greetings and salutations, my beloved passionates, newcomers, visitors, and guests. So this is the unofficial launch of season 8. I know you've been patiently waiting for episode 100, which is the gala episode and the finale episode of season 7. Okay. Technically, being that episode was done at the gala, the episode was done. But those of you who weren't able to attend the gala were supposed to be able to see at least that part of it. So much happened around getting that episode to you, and just going back through footage that I had recorded and photos that were captured just to make sure that I documented the process. I decided to do a documentary, like this studio build, right? Documentaries take time and thought, especially when you're not just putting something together to tell a story of what happened and how you got here, but when there are lessons and bullet points and takeaways for others. And then something happened in the process of me creating the documentary that confirmed that I actually need to do this, not for me, but for others, and get it out. So hold on for me, beloveds. It is in motion. You will get it before the season is over, maybe not before the month is over. I'm juggling a bunch of things at once. I'm reorganizing and restructuring both personally and business-wise. So I thank you for your patience and for sticking it out with me. But for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome to an unexpected but very necessary episode of the Passion PSA podcast, where I, Passion, no last necessary, your Get You Right Guru, issue a weekly public service announcement about whatever I've observed or was on my mind. This is a for your consideration zone, where the objective is to offer you a perspective you may not have previously considered, to A, expand your thinking, and B, aid you in becoming a better version of yourself, and for others. This is a safe space, but not necessarily a delicate one, meaning I will never rob you of your right to feel what you feel. The same way I won't sugarcoat the truth to make it more palatable. The goal is to get you to higher, more expanded thinking so you can operate as your highest and best self. If you are new here, affirmations are our first order of business so that we can intentionally raise the vibration and start on one accord. Let's get on the same frequency. If you're ready, go ahead and take a deep breath. You are always welcome to repeat after me or to take this time. State your own affirmations. My time is now. I am seizing every opportunity. I am acting with urgency and strategy. I am wise. I am careful. I am creating a legacy of greatness. I am walking in my greatness. I am operating in gratitude. I am grateful for those who have come before me and laid a solid foundation. I am grateful for the privilege to build on that foundation. Gratitude. I am well. It is well. All is well. well is all. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So why am I taking a pause on the documentary to jump in here today? I went to get my taxes done yesterday. So for me, that was Monday. For you, that was 2 days ago. Anyway, shout out to Karim for taking the time I needed to answer my questions, explain things in depth, and help me figure some things out. If you're in New York and you need a CPA, look up Royal Credentials. He's out in Brooklyn, and you know that is a diesel commute for me. So if I'm telling you it's worth it to go see him, it is. I'll link him in the description box. No, I don't get a commission. No, I don't have an affiliate link, but everything doesn't require cash compensation. Sometimes the compensation is putting someone else on. Just being the plug, the connector, the bridge from problem to solution is enough. At least for me. Okay, so that's that on that. So I get home late and I'm on the phone and I'm told Roberta Flack has transitioned back to the ethers. Now, some, and maybe even most of you, know her for the original Killing Me Softly, right? Depending on what era you grew up in, you know her for epic duets like The Closer I Get to You and Where Is the Love, two of countless duets she did with the incomparable Donny Hathaway, and Tonight I Celebrate My Love with Peabo Bryson. You might remember Feel Like Making Love, or The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, or even Jessie, which is one of several remakes that she did. When I heard this news, I didn't want to believe it. So I went to the interwebs, and sure enough, the news was there. She was 88. But what I also saw was that in 2022, she had announced that she had ALS and couldn't sing anymore. And even more than the elder passing, the inability to sing when that was her career since the 60s just kind of stopped me in my path. Now, y'all know in season 4, I did 2 episodes on decisions. And going through one of my drives, I found that I had done a Passion Public Service announcement on the gram in probably 2020 on the same thing, right? The basic premise of all of them is that we make decisions in youth as though the decisions we make now have no consequence or no bearing on the future. Some of us feel so confident, we're even boisterous about not being worried about the future. We're living our lives now. And that's fine. But later down the line, when said decisions and exclamations catch up to us, instead of taking accountability for our own recklessness, we blame age for what age has done or is doing. The same way you refuse to stop eating things that are harming you because you like the way they taste and because your grandma ate it every day and lived to be older than Abraham. That's the same way y'all blaming age for your aches, pains, and disabilities while somebody older than religion is outside running miles around the track without a single ache or pain. So yes, age has a role, but what you do at every age and stage has a bigger one. And before you get loud and crazy and start hollering about ALS being an autoimmune and not as a result of a decision, it's not an autoimmune. It's a neurodegenerative disease. And I know she didn't choose that. So put your seatbelt on and take the ride. I'm saying something. A lot of people who know me in this space only know me in this space, right? You've seen me sing a little. You may have watched the summer series, so you may have seen me do a little acting. You may have seen me do spoken word. The underlying theme is performance art. I love the stage, but I still get terrible stage fright. And I've been on stages and in front of audiences my whole life. Well, people going people. And then within the negative committee, they come to order in my head long before anybody has a chance to criticize me. And then they let me know all of the things that can go wrong before I even have a chance to start, right? So the elders of the negative committee, they make sure to remind me of everything that has gone wrong in the past. People laughing at me when I was singing. I wasn't even off key. Forgetting where I was in the song, just dazed out and staring off into space until I heard this lady playing the piano so hard and loud that it jolted me back. Just all kinds of stuff, okay? And bad memories and bad experiences, or even the thought that more bad can be more than terrifying. It can be paralyzing. A lot of people have been paralyzed. Some haven't been totally seized or arrested, but they've been stagnated real bad. And when you finally see the gala documentary, episode 99, the night before the gala, it makes all the sense, right? And I remember saying in that episode that I had no desire to do it again while simultaneously planning future events, right? My mind's eye can see greatness in the future. My mind's eye can see what my hands just weren't able to produce this go around. So now fear that it could go the same way or worse the next time around. Anxiety that it could go the same way or worse if I try again. The average person would say those are reasonable concerns and causes to say,
well, yeah, nah, I'm good. Get somebody else to do it.
So being afraid of all that can go wrong can kind of rip through me as I'm preparing to go out on stage. But loving my talents and abilities won't allow me to not use them. Like, I love acting. I soundtrack life daily. I sing literally almost everything. I love, love, love spoken word. So even if I don't do these things on the bigger stages, I live these things. I can't not do them. It's as normal as breathing. But still, there's always the concern of, what if it's not good enough? And then I have to remind myself that just because something doesn't appeal to audience X doesn't mean it's not good enough or doesn't have any appeal. And there's the other really big one, which is, I know it's good, but when someone else comes and does their good thing, my good kind of like becomes mediocre by default because they're good by what? By comparison, okay, right? Y'all know they're good then is great or better. But in actuality, their good might not be good or better. It's different or more complex. We've talked about it a little bit before, right? Vocally, can I sing? Yes. Is it pretty? Yes. Can I do a bunch of complex vocal acrobatics? I'm still working on it. To one person,
who cares? You sound like an angel.
To the next person,
it sounds basic. Anybody can sing the song straight, but you gotta be a roast singer to put some stank on it.
And then how I feel about my own abilities or my limitations will ultimately decide whether or not I'm going to sing on stages or in public places. What does any of this have to do with Roberta Flack? A lot of y'all.
Too many of y'all. Say it right.
Okay, many people don't appreciate the altos, right? Sopranos, especially first sopranos, they're exciting because they hit the high notes. Same thing with male tenors. They're hitting rather high notes for a male voice, right? Bass is the lowest vocal classification, so we love them. But the altos, they're the middle children. We don't get celebrated like the sopranos and the basses, but we're the guardians of the melody for the most part. But without a whole lot of riffing and running, though, the average alto is kind of handled like they don't do too much. So I've spent a lot of time trying to stretch my range in both directions, and I may not have yet developed the vocal dexterity for the acrobatics, but I can move through several scales with ease. Now, singers, musicians, audiophiles, purveyors of music, musicologists really appreciate that. The average listener, not so much. So for someone like me, listening to a voice like Miss Roberta's, even though she would probably be classified as like a second soprano, it's not just soothing because of how pretty it is. It's pivotal. It reminds me of all the amazing altos who sing in their register without a whole heap of acrobatics, and it's okay for them to be them. Not because someone who can or can't sing agrees. Not because someone who can or can't sing approves. But because this is what they love and this is how they're able to do it. So they do it unapologetically and have made long-spanning careers just by doing what they can with love. Circling back to the points about decisions, had they made decisions to do something else, we never would have had the privilege to enjoy them the way we have. These songs, their singers, those singers' deliveries, they have soundtracked our lives. There are songs we've heard by 10 different artists, but there's always that one rendition and that one voice that kind of cancels anything anyone else is doing. So Miss Roberta's decision to pursue what she loved didn't just affect her, it affected the world. Not only did her decision to do what she loved on whatever level presented itself at the time allow her to pursue her passion to the highest level at the end of her performing life, there was no reason to wonder what would have happened or what could have happened if she continued to pursue her passion. A lot of us aren't using our voices right now. And I mean that more in the sense of we're not using our abilities or creative expression, right? But we don't know what life has in store for us. We don't know what's down the pike or just around the bend that's quickly approaching. If I never win a Grammy, I've still created 2 albums and done background vocals on several others. If I never win an Oscar, I've been in movies. No Emmy, no problem. I've been on TV. If I never win a Tony, I've torn up some stages. Am I done here? Far from it. But if my goals, plans, or intentions were ever thwarted, I've experienced almost everything I've ever wanted to. Now, of course, are there a few minor and a few major exceptions? Absolutely. But I'm grateful that before anything happened that could completely cut off the opportunity to do the things I wanted to do, I at least tried. I didn't think this was how season 8 was going to kick off, but for every ending, there's a beginning. I don't know if it was Dr. Miles Monroe or Les Brown who said it first, but the Dr. Monroe version of this upcoming quote is this: the wealthiest place in the world is not the gold mines of South America or the oil fields of Iraq or Iran. They are not the diamond mines of South Africa or the banks of the world. The wealthiest place on the planet is just down the road. It is a cemetery. There lie buried companies that were never started, inventions that were never made, best-selling books that were never written, and masterpieces that were never painted. In the cemetery is buried the greatest treasure of untapped potential. Passionates. We've seen what fully realized potential produces. We've seen what the dreamers like myself and some of the people who are being judged as failures and screw-ups can do, right? And y'all know what I'm talking about. The failures, the screw-ups, the ones who are always coming up on something new, but they never seem to find the successful thing. But they keep trying, right? They're doing. They're not waiting until they can't do it and saying, I wish I did. They're not waiting until they can't do it to say, I was going to, but. And if you know, like I know, you'd better stop waiting too. Because once the opportunity is gone, that window of compassion that you get from others who feel for you having missed your opportunity, it closes quickly. No one wants to hear forever about what you were going to do and what you wish you would have done, especially if you actively chose to do nothing or everything but the thing. And passionates, this doesn't apply to talents and gifts only, right? Because not everybody's meant to be on stage, Uncle Mixtape. Some of us should only sing at karaoke, okay? If you were good enough to go to the league and for whatever reason you haven't gotten there yet, but you
Do the nicest one on anyone's course of fields from here to overseas.
it's okay. It's okay if you stop telling us about what you could have done and you start coaching. It's okay. We're good with that. The point is, while the thing you're procrastinating on may not be painting the next Mona Lisa, it might be creating the trust. It might be getting the life insurance. It might be getting that repair on the house. You don't know what time is about to run out on you, but you know what you've done, what you haven't done, what you'd like to do, and what you need to do. Do the thing before you can't. I am so grateful to the now ancestor for her contributions to music. I am so grateful that I knew who she was before her transition, because there are so many that I didn't find out about until later, and so many that I wanted to see perform live and I never got to. I mean, I never got to see her live performance either, but that's okay. I got to enjoy what she had to offer. Listening to so many songs from her discography reminded me that it's not always about the acrobatics or the high notes or being able to belt. Singing the song simply is enough. So I thank you, ancestor, for reminding me that what I have to work with is enough. Thank you for reminding me of the importance of using my voice right now while I still have it and while I still can. And we're going to talk more about right now next week, okay? In the meantime, if you've gotten any value from any of the work I've done and you'd like to make a financial contribution, links to PayPal, Linktree, and Zelle are all in the description box. Don't hang up. Don't click off yet, okay? Sit tight. The Gala documentary is loading. Sit tight. It's worth the wait. Tonight, we're not going to close like we usually do. Remember earlier in the episode, I listed some of the songs from Miss Flack's discography. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to close out by listening to Jessie. It's an I Miss You song and an ode to someone that you wish could or would come back. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. In its heyday, it reached 30 on the Billboard Hot 100. I told you the title is Jesse. It was written by Janice Ian, but Miss Roberta made it famous. It's only 4 minutes, so I hope you can spare the 4 minutes to listen and help me honor the ancestor. And don't mind me if I get teary. Feeling is part of healing. Y'all go forth, be great, be filled with bliss, be armed and empowered with knowledge. While time might not run out on you, time might run out on the thing you always wanted or needed to do. Don't let that happen. Get started, get it done. In all things, be passionate. See you later.
Jesse, come home. There's a hole in the bed where we slept. Now it's growing cold. Hey, Jesse, your face in the place where we lay by the all apart, it hangs on my heart, and I'm keeping the light on the stairs. No, I'm not scared. I wait for you. Hey, Jesse, it's lonely, come home. Jesse, the floors and the boards, recalling your steps, and I remember too. All the pictures are fading, shaded in gray, but I still set a place on the table at noon, and I'm keeping the light on the stairs. No, I'm not scared. I wait for you. Hey, Jesse, it's lonely, come home. Jesse, the spread on the bed is like when you left, and I kept it for you. And all the blues and the greens have been recently cleaned and are seemingly new. Hey, Jess, me and you will swallow the light on the stairs. We'll fix up my hair and sleep unaware. Hey, Jesse, I'm lonely.